Question number 5. Now, I will preface this by saying I watched a lot of your music videos, and you have what seems to be, by your videos, kind of a side of you that has some funny, sadistic tendencies, a creepiness to them, things like that, which I very much enjoy. So I want you to think about, what is the creepiest thing that you could say to somebody that you just met?
I'm so good at this usually. I mean, this is like really a weird, I don't know what it means about me. I would love a psychologist to rip this apart, but I love to make people feel uncomfortable. So I love to like fuck with people, but I'm trying to think of like the craziest thing you could say to someone you just met.
Like for example, we had someone that said a really good one that I thought was like, go up to somebody and just be like, 7 days.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think the best ones are definitely not like these crazy outlandish things, but more like the subtle things when you just kind of walk up to somebody and go, you smell different when you're awake.
Yeah. Your nails are salty. My clippings, or are you chewing on my fingers when I'm sleeping?
I feel like I would be more of like a, I'm trying to think of making someone uncomfortable. I mean, I think of it more along like the dating lines, like something that would like really like creep someone out.
Well, you could be like, I try to think of ways to get out of it. Like, just take a picture of them, be like, I just want a picture of you real quick. Oh, why? I just want to see how it looks if we mash our faces together like our first kids.
Yeah.
Like,
I love telling people I love them like the first like 10 minutes just to see how they react. Like, I love to just be dead ass and just be like, I love you so much. And then they're either like really, it's a good test because they're either like, I love you too. And they're like funny about it, or they're like, what the fuck?
I like that one. Like, I love you so much. No, like,
yeah. No, like I
know
want to marry you right now.
I want to.
Yeah. Because I feel like I would need someone that would shoot the shit and be like, I'm in love with you.
Right. You got to find that person that Han Solos you and goes like, I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's a skill.
That, like,
Have you told someone that you love them before in like a weird way? I did in like such a wuss way. I texted it from a plane because I was getting on a plane and we'd been dating for
scary.
And she hit me back with an Anchorman quote that was like, I'm 70% sure that I love you too.
That's pretty good though.
And I was like, she's the one.
Yeah. I think the people that know me and like come out to my shows and are like fans of mine know that it's like my sense of humor and me just like wanting to fuck with people with like my t-shirts like that say like cock monster and like blowjob queen. Like it's mainly just me, like I guess it goes back to me just enjoying fucking with people.
Well, that's what I was too. It's like
pushing buttons,
putting people in awkward situations and making, you know, the awkward, like enjoying that and with people. Like it's the same thing with the music end of it, or even just some of the
I mean, my parents definitely have like a heart attack, but I love just like making people feel weird and like uncomfortable. And yeah, people are totally uncomfortable with like sexuality and like talking about sex and dicks and t-shirts that say blowjob queen, and it's just like it's fun to me because I'm like this, I know this is like getting under your skin and I love it.
Well, people still in the year of our Lord 2026, even they still have that even more when a girl does it.
But like since a girl's doing it, they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So it's fun to just be like, I don't know. It's just I love with people, I guess.
I think it's really interesting that like people could watch a movie and like, you know, the performance part of it, like they like an actor or actress pull from real life experience to emit whatever's happening, right?
Sure.
And they don't separate the art from the artist.
CARR is a trampaging. Believe that we're all drug addicts. Believe it.
It comes from a real place in my heart. And I also feel like you could be a whore in a relationship with one person. People tie into
like all these songs could be about one person.
There's 17 songs out.
Like just because you sing about sex doesn't mean you're having sex with a million people. Exactly. I get stuck on the same person for like 10 years. And I love raging horrors.
Yeah.
Like I love meeting girls at my shows that are like come up to me and they pretty much are like, I'm a raging whore, and I'm like, I'm obsessed with you. Like I wanna
I love you.
I
I mean, I
love a
really.
raging whore. Yeah, I'm in love with you. I love a raging whore. Like I can be like, who here likes to suck dick? So I think they were like, okay, they know when to tell me to like tone it down. If
Right.
if it's also hard when you're playing such a short set like that you have to like you don't really have time to talk really besides like introducing
Right,
yourself.
that's
So there was really nothing to be said, but this guy kept tweeting at me and we were just dying in the van because he was like, I hope CARR like falls into the river tonight and drowns because
Jesus Christ.
I know.
What?
We were like, what the fuck? And he's like, there were children here, and we were all like dying because we're like, I didn't say anything bad.
How do you think they got here?
Right.
Like you to have your child, and then it's like you can like twist it, like going back to with people. Someone like messaged me, and we just like are in the green room, just like with them, and he messaged me something like, I forget, like you're a slut, something stupid, like I can meet you wherever you want. Like it turns so fast.
Yeah, people are very upset when they're aroused and they think that they can't, and they think that
Yeah,
it's
and
great.
then we just like block, and we're like, this is so fun.
Next T-shirt, just put blows haters.
Yeah.
That's probably maybe that's not a good. Maybe that
We should try that. Put it on a big platform than we
Yeah.
are.
But I like that.
I'm still a sensitive
I'm
angel.
I'm sure you get enough.
Right. So like as an artist who's working hard on their career, sometimes music, while it may have started as an escape, may not necessarily be your escape all the time. Sometimes it can be just with people.
I mean, I think this whole podcast was like a reality check for me, how much I enjoy with people. Making people feel extremely uncomfortable and with them.
We have from Rhode Island Comic Con this past year, the official drink beverage for the staff was the Bad Apple Juice by Monster. Not a sponsor, but I was kind of wondering, I was like, who is that?
I was gonna say, who's on the cover of that?
But I think it's just a seductive lady going, would you like an apple?
See. It's Eve.
Oh, Adam and Eve.
Right?
So we're going to get religious. It is Christmas.
So I've got a take on Adam and Eve. I mean, besides them being related and us all being the product of inbreeding, hundreds and hundreds of years of inbreeding, and that probably not being accurate anyway. But if you really want to look at the story, for those of you that have read Le Bible, they never.
I love his music, by the way.
Yes,
He's
I like his
great.
early stuff before he sold out.
Yeah.
They never say the name of the snake in the Bible. They never actually say that the snake is
really?
Lucifer, right? The snake is merely there. And if you're familiar with the story is Adam was created, Eve was created from one of his ribs to be a companion. They were in paradise.
Henceforth related.
Yes, henceforth related, same person, inbreeders. And they were the only people on Earth, so they had kids. So guess who had to get to banging to make more people?
Their kids.
They banged their kids banged each other. It all became a terrible thing, and that's why we are who we are. So they're in the Garden of Eden. They're in paradise. They can stay there. They can live forever. They are immortal. Everything is perfect. Everything's amazing. The only thing they cannot do is eat from one tree. That tree was called what? The tree of knowledge. The one thing that they couldn't do was eat from the tree of knowledge, because had they eaten from the tree of knowledge, they would have become as is the gods, as to the gods.
Sure.
They would know more. Right. So what we
and
have,
they wouldn't be like, hey, I'm somebody that I'm related to.
Right.
Yeah.
Language.
My bad.
So, so then, what do we have here? We have a God that has created people,
Gatekeeper,
that does not want them to gain any knowledge other than the knowledge that they specifically gave them, and said, you're only allowed this, because if you don't, then you become equal to me, and I can't have that.
That's called gatekeeping.
So we have a couple of options here in this hypothetical, totally get off your high horse if you're getting mad at me because you're religious thing. Either that is the one true God, and he's kind of a gatekeeping dick. Now, we are aware that there's a goal line defense and big fence in heaven for they don't want the gays or any, like
right. Maybe.
Or maybe the snake is the theoretical Jesus, the God that is actually giving us knowledge, and the devil himself was the one that created everything out of jealousy and put us here. Because what were we told about the greatest prank that the devil ever pulled?
Man.
Making us believe that he was good and just and God.
Wow. So on Instagram, Nicholas James Yoga.
Wait.
Nicholas.james.yoga.
I love your name. I love your name. I hope you introduce yourself that way.
Whose profile reads, Michigan born, Jesus Christ first, cross emoji.
My dad was born in Michigan.
He is risen, cross emoji.
Has he?
Yes. He comments, this dude is a moron.
Confirmed.
With a laugh crying emoji.
Oh, cool. He's entertained at least.
Yeah. He looks like a double craft IPA with a craft squealer burger for $24.99, fries not included, and his dad is the owner, who is Jewish. I commented a laugh.
I look like a double craft. Maybe he's talking about you. You look more like an IPA than me.
Yeah, but you were the one talking.
Yeah, but you're the one that looks like an IPA.
I do.
I look like a stout.
I don't know.
Right? I mean, come on. IPA stout.
I was wearing a sleeveless cutoff t-shirt. I was not an IPA. I was not an IPA. There was not an IPA.
And what is that?
You got the glasses, you got the beard.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You got the pompadour.
Oh yeah, maybe I do. I don't think I do though.
You
let us know in the comments who looks more like an IPA.
You give more of a hipster vibe than I do.
I give
in the video. We're just gonna say let's just pull for context here. You got the hat on.
I have the hat on. I have the okay. All right.
You got the hat on too.
All right.
You are absolutely the IPA.
Okay.
Pinky, no, I am not the IPA. I am.
I think in general terms, if you look more like an IPA.
If you look at me here, I look like the Natty Light.
Yeah, you do look
Natty Ice.
Yeah.
not light. Definitely ice.
You're PBR.
Yeah.
You're a PBR. Okay. All right. Fine.
Maybe Bush. Okay. Bush Light.
I was just, like, in general, if you were to walk into a room with the two of us and then someone was going to go, one of these guys drinks IPAs, I think they'd go to you.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know though, but that hat.
Yeah, I think but Pinky says in general terms Mike is the IPA. I think you might be right because you know me.
Right, yeah.
A little more, but taken out of context.
But no, the hat
Jimmy's a cork sniffing IPA.
That hat is definitely
drinking
the hat of a cork sniffer.
Hacky sacking.
I am not hacky sacking.
Yeah.
Hacky sackings would have been dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Dreadlocks and a surfboard rack on top of my car with no surfboard.
Donna says Mike's a Killian's, which I used to drink a lot of that. I used to love Killian's.
I think Donna's just throwing her Irish around.
I haven't had Killian's in forever. Maybe we should. You want to get a 6-pack and have it today, maybe
today
or some other day.
I mean,
we'll next D&D we're gonna do Killian's.
Yeah, maybe we'll do Killian's next. I haven't had a Killian's in a long time either. Okay, so I'm the IPA. Let's get back to this.
So,
Am I a moron? Yes, I am a moron.
but not for those reasons.
I am on the internet giving my opinion on things that I have really zero reason or right to give my opinion on. That's what idiots on the internet do.
Sure.
That's so. Yes, it is established. I accept Nicholas James Yoga. I accept your view of me as an idiot, and I'm glad that you were entertained by it. By your laughy emoji.
I think that this was really, really funny because
he's creative. I like his.
Yeah, it's all super creative.
It's well written.
I do wonder why he points out that the owner of the Squealer Burger, Kraft Squealer Burger, I'm sorry,
right,
who is your father,
right?
Why he had to point out that he was Jewish.
Well, I think because I think. Well, no, I'm trying to think of. Okay, so
no, I think that's kind of inexcusable.
This. Well, I'm going Old Testament here, right?
Sure.
Because if we're Old Testament,
that's
the
Torah,
Jews
right.
are the only ones that are saved or going to heaven or anything.
Sure.
Right? You have to be. So maybe he's saying my take. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. My take would be one of a cork sniffing IPA, Old Testament, only my people are going to be saved thing. But that also flies in the face of the idea that I don't believe any of that stuff anyway.
Sure.
So if my dad was Jewish, much like if my dad was hardcore Catholic or Christian, he would be very disappointed in me, which I'm sure they are for a multitude of reasons, but that probably isn't one of them.
It's probably way down on the list.
Down on the list. Their disappointment in me is legendary for non-religious reasons.
Yes. Yeah. But and I love that he just Michigan born, Jesus first.
Kraft Squealer Burger for $24.99.
This guy is an effing moron.
I want Nicholas James to come on the show and have a drink with us.
Okay.
All right, Nicholas James, if you're still watching, I like your comment. I like your moxie. I like you, sir.
I hope this gets clipped.
I'm gonna look for it,
and then I'm gonna tag him on it.
Yeah,
and ask him to come on.
Yeah. So Nicholas, I like you.
We are gonna move on. This
what else do we got?
This next one is called the Serpent's Secret, and this seems to be the most talked about one. Let me just get
the Serpent's Secret is very provocative.
I
like that.
Unraveling the Bible's untold story.
I love that AI is really making us seem like we do know more than we do. So this time, how scared should we be of AI?
Oh, of AI?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to, you can actually Google my talk that I did for the SANS Institute called AI for Adversaries. And I actually used AI to find a brand new 0-day bug for Google Chrome, and it impacted all versions of Google Chrome. And I mean, so I think the cool thing that highlights is that AI can be abused by bad guys to find bugs faster. So like I already can break into your stuff. I can already hack and find bugs in cell phones and stuff. But it takes me time. But I think, using AI as like your, Robin to your Batman and using it as like this sidekick that can help you come up with ideas and help you code faster, I think is interesting, and it's becoming a dangerous place. So I hope everybody can catch up, and hopefully cyber defense teams can use AI to help combat that a little bit.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like the warning is, AI is going to take everybody's jobs, and it's like, I think AI is going to take everybody that was like in the past 10 years that was like, coding is the way to learn. It's going to take their jobs, unfortunately. But then also it's like, let's put our entire economy in the hands of AI on the speculation that it's going to make everybody a bunch of money. And if it goes well, it'll replace a bunch of people, but then also make a bunch of money. And if it doesn't go as well, then it's not going to make anybody a bunch of money. It's going to be a big crash, like a .com crash.
It's not ready yet, though. I mean, if you like use AI a lot, like there's still a lot of inaccuracies. Like it gives you, like it spits out all the data that it has, right? It just regurgitates data. So depending on the data sets,
you got to proofread it all.
Yeah, you definitely have to proofread, because like even like Howard Benson like asked about like himself, and it was like missing a bunch of like records. It like had wrong information of bands that he never worked with. Like it gets it wrong. And then even from a coding perspective, you were saying that it could replace coders, and that's not true either. Like
good.
Even during my talk, I was showing them how it would confidently say, "Hey, I wrote your code. Here you go." And then you would run it and it would just error out, Python errors. And you had to like debug with it. And like, you'll see that it misses like a / or a random escape character all the time. But the coders can definitely develop like test cases and stuff like that a lot faster. So using it as like a sidekick, I think is great right now, but maybe later, I'm sure we'll go towards being more reliant on AI technology, but it's not ready yet.
But we're not in danger of Skynet just yet.
I don't think so. Not
our danger is still more hackers, honestly.
Yeah. It's amazing how you could, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, political affiliation, I don't have an affiliation. When it comes to thoughts and ideals, I probably lean a little bit more toward the left than the right. But it doesn't mean that I don't think that there are ideas on the right that are not wrong, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing as like, I don't necessarily think that all ideas on the left are good.
No.
And it's just when you say anything like that, when you give an inch, right? Certain people take the mile. So because you've leaned that way, you are now part of that agenda.
Right.
And then they start spitting rhetoric from just one lens. And it's like, you do realize that what you're doing right now is no different than what the people all the way far on the left are doing, which is spitting from the view of one lens. Like, you're not looking at the rest of the world here. You're looking at what's in front of you. But there's a big world beyond your nose. And I just wish those two sides would just stop villainizing everybody from everything. And I think it's super important that I vote for humans, you know, like, you know, that's why being independent is the way. Yeah, it's free thinking. But like, you know, just to, you know, the big left agenda right now is the Epstein files, right? And what I think is super, super crazy is the fact that it's not also seen as a dig to the left as well. You know, it like the left is using it as a weapon toward the right. And it's like, hey, you know that it's not just the right here. Whether you're left or right, you could still be a good human. Whether you're left or right, you could still be a disgusting piece of garbage human. And something about that is completely lost. And I just don't understand it. And I don't like being called a leftard.
It's libtard, Mike. It's libtard.
Oh, it was both. It was both. Leftard and a libtard thrown in there.
I introduce myself as a libtard to my, like when I'm talking to my far right friends, I'm like, oh no, don't pay attention to me. You know, I'm the libtard in the group.
Right. It's so crazy how just an inch people just take the mile.
I like this idea from my buddy Joey Nunn. If you get a Democrat president, you should have a Republican vice president and vice versa.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I've thought that for a long time. I think what's happening now is you have people that have gotten caught up in the idea of sides so much that they think we're legit in a war on both sides. And they think that you can't be nuanced and you can't look at things like, I mean, like, let's be crazy here for a minute and imagine a world where we look at policies and talk about who's talked about policy in, God, have we heard a Republican or Democrat talk about policy in a while? I mean,
it's been like 12 years.
I don't remember them actually, unless they're asked about it or forced to. It's like you can't look at things and say on a case-by-case basis, well, I agree with this part of this person's position, and I agree with this part of this person's position, and I agree with this. And they don't want you to do that. The infamous they don't want you to be able to do that, because if we do that, then we're having discussions and we're able to actually vote on things and we're able to make things happen. Mm-hmm. If they get you in this idea that it's teams and you have to accept everything that your side does, even if you don't agree with it. And if you don't necessarily agree with it, you can't let that out and you can't say it. Otherwise, you're going to be ostracized from your team. And then you're going to belong nowhere. You don't want to belong nowhere, do you? How can you possibly, disagree with anyone on your side? That makes you the other side. And then just like getting distracted into arguing over whether Kid Rock's a good person or not, we get in these arguments now of, well, the other side does this. Oh, and this side does this. And now we're not talking about policies. We're not talking about laws. We're not talking about actual ways to help human beings, because that's not what it's about for them.
The politicians, no. And that's
I agree wholeheartedly that it's never been left versus right, man. It's top versus bottom, and the top is getting smaller and smaller and smaller all the time. They don't need us. They don't even need our money anymore. Right? Because we're putting everything's worried about everyone's 401ks and the stock market and everything like that. Well, guess what? Once that gets rolling, they don't need our money for anything. They don't need us to work for them anymore. They don't need. So what happens? What happens then?
Well, that's
what all of us. It doesn't matter who we're voting for, and as long as we're fighting each other on, oh, well, this person didn't the halftime show wasn't in English. That's the topic of discussion, instead of, hey man, gas is still expensive.
Right. Well, that's what I'm getting at here. Like, that's what I'm trying to get at with
no one's being hired anywhere. If you lose your job right now, you're screwed.
What I'm getting at with this guy is like, hey man, like, you don't think that some of this stuff was thrown out there as like a, hey, like, you, to your point, fueling my home to make it warm so I don't freeze, my family and I don't freeze to death, is expensive as shit. But you know what? Super Bowl is in Spanish. It's halftime shows in Spanish.
You know what I mean? So, nice.
I'm curious as to what you think the most misunderstood thing is about you, because I think that there's a lot.
Oh yeah,
I think there's a lot.
Maybe I don't pay attention that much to what I don't really. What's funny is, if you were to ask me what I think people think of me, I don't know that I would be able to give you an answer, because I don't really know.
Yeah.
Right. I think maybe one of the things that is misconstrued about me is that that I want or need to be the center of attention.
That's number one.
I understand. I know that I have somewhat of a big personality at times.
Yeah.
But I don't even try. I just feel like there's times when you can kind of be big, and there's times when you need to not be big. Right.
But that all goes the same thing that I was saying, and Mel, reading the room.
Right. Yeah. Mine's never a measured case where I'm like, there's very much times where I'm just kind of like, wow, let's just be big. and that's never a it's never a need to be viewed or anything. It's just that's how I'm enjoying myself.
Well, I think that comes with reading the room, and when you are that personality, that big personality that takes up a room like that, you don't do it. Nobody ever walks away going, it was just inappropriate.
Right.
Now,
right.
Listen,
there have been times
we have said we've all said things that are inappropriate.
I'm not going to say there's never been a time,
but when you turn that on,
right,
it's the appropriate time to turn it on.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would think so. But I think like I said, like I guess I never really pay attention to that. I don't really know what people. I kind of figure like, well, people like me.
The only reason why I know about it is because of how many people have either like just been around me,
right,
and have watched the show or come see my bands live or anything like that, because I always or if we did karaoke at a conference or whatever, like people would always come up to me and be like, I didn't take you for that. I didn't take you for this kind of thing.
Right.
You know,
you when you go big, people are surprised by it,
right?
Because they're like, I didn't know you had that in you. But it's like, if you spend any time with you,
right,
at all, you know you have that in you,
right,
right. You're just, but I don't get that reaction. I never get that. I didn't know you had that in you reaction.
Sure.
Nobody's ever like, wow, I didn't expect you.
Wow, Jim's got quite the personality.
I didn't expect you to get all up. But I think if I think probably the misconstrued thing would be people thinking that I need that for something.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like or I also think that people think, I think people might think that I'm
an attention hog or
really confident,
kind of.
I think they think I'm really confident, like overconfident, if they don't know me, because I am very loud and big when I need to be, but then I'm also like, I'm very much like, let me help your situation, like I have some authority to do so, or you know what I mean. So I think maybe I can come across sometimes as like, oh, he like thinks he knows everything, or he's overconfident or something like that. I don't know, but that's what I would imagine people might think. I
don't think that personally. And quite honestly, I don't think you've and you and I have had conversations and been in situations where you could have very, very easily have quote unquote stepped over a line, so to speak, in terms of like when we're having personal conversation and stuff. And you don't.
I think I have a good sense of where lines are.
Yeah.
And that comes from listening, like you.
But also at the same time too, it's like, where's my line?
Right.
With you and I, like, where is there a line?
It's different. It's different depending on when and where.
I feel like there's not really
there's not a hard line.
There's no hard line.
There's no line where like you're gonna get pissed or offended.
Yeah.
But there's definitely time and place lines with you that I understand and that I feel them. And
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
There, you know, because I can sometimes, I never like being able to read a room also allows me to not be that guy in the room that's like overdoing the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, a couple of these, can't say I've never done it, but
well, that's when the lines get blurry and you don't know whether it's the first one, the second one, or the middle one.
Right.
I get it.
But I think I'm articulate enough to like, I can make a dirty joke to a band member in a room with band members and say it in a very different way and then do the same joke to a doctor at a conference and word it in a way that it works in both situations.
Right. Yes.
Because I know how to alter that delivery.
Right.
Whereas if I had done it,
That is a
where I would have crossed a line.
That
if
is-
I had done it a different
that
way.
is a perfect perfect way to explain that presentation is everything.
Yes. Yes. I've tightened my presentation over the years.
The week in Vegas, even if you don't pay for a flight or a room,
Yeah.
could be a little expensive.
Yeah. Now the good thing is that so I'm very fortunate in life that a lot of the things that I try to do and a lot of things that I like want to explore, I'm generally like, I'm not great at anything right away, but I'm generally pretty good at stuff right away.
Mhm.
Like I can figure stuff out and I'm decent with it, with the exception of gambling. Gambling,
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
right away, terrible at. So and people always tell me, they're like, oh no, here, you got to like, you bet, and then if you lose you double the bet so that when you win it back, plus you and there's like a method and all that. I'm like, man, I one day I was like, all right, I gotta waste some time today. I'm gonna go, I was just gonna go do like a machine. So I was like, let me find one with like a low prize, because the ones with the higher prize pay out less. You also don't want to do any of the branded ones because they have to pay licensing fees, so they're designed to pay out less often. So you don't want to look for anything that's in a high traffic area because they assume people are going to walk by,
Right
do
to
one,
that,
and then leave.
yeah.
So I found my way in, found one, put in $20, immediately lost $20, like within 5 minutes, gone.
Yeah.
Put in another $10. So I did it backwards.
Right.
Immediately lost that 10, and I was like, all right, well, I'm done gambling.
I'm a lot like that too.
Yeah.
The one time that I made out, I was working for a company and we had a conference of sorts, or just like this training thing. It was at Mohegan Sun.
Okay.
And we went and they gave us a $10 voucher for gambling.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, it was, I don't care because it's house money. So when I went, I had a whole bunch of, because it was one person from each branch.
Okay.
And this, the company had like 500 branches,
Yeah.
whatever. So I was chosen from my branch. So people from my branch were like, hey, go to the roulette machine and put 20 on this and put 10 on this and 5 on this. And I had this whole list of things. And I said to the whatever, the dealer, whatever, the person that spins the wheel, I was like, this is what I want. And they were like, okay, you're obviously damaged because you should just put the things where you need to.
Right.
But
Right.
They realized I was special.
Mhm.
And they did it, and they spun the wheel, and then they called out whatever, and then I said, can I have it back now? And she was like, excuse me? I was like, yeah, I'm done with their money.
Right.
Can I have it back now? And she was like, okay. She was obviously miffed.
Yeah.
And I didn't care because
Right.
I don't gamble and
Right.
I'm never going to see them again. And then I took my 10 and I put it down on black.
Yes.
And she was like, oh, you're back in. I said, this is my money now.
Right.
But it wasn't my money. They gave me that money. And I won $20.
Nice.
And then I said, cool, I'll have it back now. And then she was very upset again because she was like, no, you're winning. You should keep going.
Right.
And I was like, no, I made one drink turn into 2 drinks.
Right.
Give me my money back.
I'm not winning. I won.
Yeah, I won. Give me my money back. So that's my extent of gambling.
Nice.
Vegas wise, Jen and I found, you ever see the Deal or No Deal machine?
Yeah.
That's the only thing we'll play. We have a lot of fun with
It's
that.
branded.
It's, you know what it is?
You got to pay the IP.
You know what it is, though? It's fun.
Yeah, that's true.
It's fun, and it's not pulling the lever and it going bing, 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 bing. You lose.
Yeah.
It takes time, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the one we were playing was like $5, right? So if we're throwing in $5 and we're standing there for 15, 20 minutes and getting a couple of drinks.
Oh man, 15, 20 minutes. You know, what I did notice, and Annie noticed it too, when you're at Mandalay Bay, at least, nobody's walking around giving anybody drinks. There's no like waitresses or cocktail people
really
walking around. Not happening. Now, when we went to Fremont Street and we went into a couple of those places, it's all still happening there. Yeah. All of that's still going on there. And I still maintain that Fremont Street is the coolest part of Vegas.
Yeah. Well, when we went, what was it, 2019 or 2018?
Something like that. Yeah. Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. That was really cool because that was just as they were finishing up all the improvements to Fremont Street.
Right.
And there were some holes. There were some big holes that were still getting filled in terms of new buildings and stuff. But yeah, I just remember enjoying our time on Fremont Street way more than any of the rest of it.
Yeah. I like, and I was noticing myself doing this while I was there too. And I was like, this is making me sound like an old person yelling at clouds. But when I'm walking around it, I don't want Vegas to be for families. I don't want that. I don't want Vegas to be a mall.
Really? So
I don't want that. I hate that.
That's what the Strip is turning into?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right?
See,
we were walking down and I was like, I didn't start seeing badly dressed showgirls trying to get pictures taken that clearly aren't real showgirls that like bought some feathers at a place. Right. I didn't start to see them until we got closer to Fremont Street or later in the week. Right. I saw zero porn ads. I saw zero flyers for prostitutes.
With the cards.
Yeah. Like none of that.
Really?
None of that's around. But you know what's there? J. Crew and H&M and
really?
Like Lululemon and like all that stuff is there. And I'm like, this sucks. What is this?
That's not Vegas.
Right. It does, like it's called Sin City.
Well, I feel like we went there. So now we're talking about 7 or 8 years. So that was my last reference to it.
And when I lived there, it was
and I remember when we went, it was much less like that. It was still there.
Yeah. Well, when we went, I was blown away because the last time I had been there wasn't the walkways over the roads and all that.
Well, the time before that for me too. There was no.
It was like you just cross the street with a drink in your hand and hope for the best. Right. And it was just droves of
pandemonium.
People.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's very lively.
Yeah.
Right now, it doesn't feel like that anymore. It feels like it's either they got stuff for your kids to do. Which, okay, cool. I get it.
Yeah.
You need that in places, but it doesn't need to be all the places.
Sure.
Right. And it's becoming a place for like rich people to play and hang out.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Like nobody's hanging out.
Go to an exclusive club at this rooftop.
Right.
This
nobody's
party.
hanging out. Nothing's happening on the floor, on the ground.
Yeah.
Right. All the stuff on the ground isn't there anymore. But you go to Fremont Street and there are street musicians. There are people selling weird handmade stuff. There's weird looking, clearly not showgirls trying to get photos with you. We saw a pair of twins that were probably in their 70s that were just like, would you like a photo? And it was like, no.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I got to say no.
Right.
Right. Yeah, so that part of it's still there. But even Fremont Street, they're like, do you want to zip line over Fremont Street? Shaka, brah. Like that.
Well, that's been there for a long time. But
that's the beginning.
It used to be the danger part of Fremont Street, right? It was way more sketchy because they just had like 7 across and they were just like, strap in, good luck.
Right.
And now I'm sure it's a lot. When we were there, it was like, okay, well, you go through these lines and you pay for a ticket and it's $25 and it's an extra if you want to bring a phone and you can, whatever, and video going across and stuff. Right. So they turned it into more of a gimmicked kind of situation.
But downtown Vegas is still very punk rock.
Yeah.
Right? Like you go into a place and you're hearing like loud punk and metal being played in so many shops. And so like street vendors are playing, like rock. So it's just like there's a vibe there that's very cool. A lot of a lot of cool like tattoo shops, a lot of cool like vintage stores. Prices are still lower for stuff like that. Like it's cheap to eat there. It's pretty cheap to shop there too. Okay. Gas is expensive. But like otherwise everything's pretty reasonable or cheap. I mean, and it's a 24/7 town. So that's really cool. So it's like, you can go to an all you can eat sushi place with great food at midnight.
Yeah.
And get served great food.
Right.
We went at 9 because that's when happy hour started.
Nice. That's beautiful.
It's great. I love
the bacon. We use it as a metaphor. Like it's that thing that kind of gets put on a plate and always enhances it, whether it's the topping, side, main course, whatever it is. Obviously we have a lot of musicians on the show. So sometimes when it's your job, it is not your way to shut off. So
music can't always be your bacon if music is your job. Sometimes it still is.
Sometimes it's of course.
What do you nerd out about? What's your passion? What's your thing? Like if you could be like, other than music, what does Matt do? What's his thing?
Yeah.
So
what is your bacon?
Well, I have two hobbies outside of music. Motorcycles. I'm really into my bikes. I have 3 Harley Davidsons sitting in my garage.
Sick. Nice.
That's a hobby of mine, riding and wrenching and working on the bikes. And that's somewhat new, just for like the last 5 years, kind of got a little later in life, but I love it. And the other one, it's a real stressful one. Anyone who plays can relate. It's golf.
That's been like
my brother's really into
in the music scene too, though. Golf is basically taken over in the scene. Like it's pretty crazy. I've never been good at it. I did go professional, for work things and stuff like that, and I was always the dunce throwing the ball from behind, everybody.
Try to Happy Gilmore it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But I can see how that gets stressful.
It does, I love it. I genuinely love it. But it's just one of those games, I'll go play the best round of my life and just be killing it and getting on the green on the par 3s. And then I'll go a few days later and have the worst game of my life and get all up in my head. And it's just it's just golf, man. It goes wrong. I mean, even for the pros, the best players, they fuck up. But I love it. I don't know. It's something about it, just being outside is nice. It's a good excuse to get out of the house, and golf courses are always well maintained and nice. Oh yeah. There's always wildlife and shit out there. And, so it's good. I mean, for me too, it's a good way. I typically I'll play with my childhood friends of mine, and we're all busy and do our own thing. So it's a good way for us to connect and get together and do something fun and positive, other than what we used to do, which just get together and party and which to each their own. That's great. That's fun. But we all kind of just hit a point where something had to change. So we golf. That's how we bond.
Nice, that's awesome. Man. That's awesome.
Even though I'm really into playing, I'm not like that guy watching it on TV.
Yeah.
I have the bug, but I could see me eventually going that direction, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, if next time you come to New York, if you got a day, or even if you don't have a day, if you're on Long Island already, just shoot over to Bethpage Black, because it's a hell of a good time, I hear.
All right. Good to know. Yeah, hopefully we'll, I have a general idea when we'll be back over there. It should be May of next year. So
yeah,
keep your eyes and ears out.
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely will.
So what got you into like briefly both golf and bikes? What were the catalysts that kind of pushed you in those directions?
Golf, I got really into it, many years, like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or something. And then I sort of fell out, stopped playing. I don't want to bring the conversation down, but my good friend who I golfed with passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
So I kind of, he's the one who got me into it, and it just didn't feel right for a while. But then it kind of hit me, a couple of years ago, where I was like, well, that's bullshit. The last thing he was pretty passionate about golf. The last thing was for me to not golf because he's dead, So I got back into it. And as far as like sports go, that's I like watching them, but that's never really my thing. I mean, I played t-ball when I was 5, so
right.
It just felt good to be doing sport. I was always into skateboarding, but doing something with the ball.
Nice.
So I don't. Yeah, it's enjoyable, and it's it's more of a mental game. And then with motorcycles, I mean, I've always had an interest in them. And then when I first got sober, I was like, you know what? Like, I need a hobby. I need something to do. And another buddy of mine got into riding, and so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna learn how to ride and get a new hobby and something to focus my energy and thoughts towards. And I fell in love right away. So.
Nice.
That's awesome. Now, did you fall in love right away with like tinkering and messing around, mechanics of it, or do you have like a history or a background in kind of mechanic stuff?
I mean, I'm like I can't really like diagnose something, that's wrong. I mean, I can't. I know how to run like diagnostics on the ECU, like the computer of a bike or a car, but I've always been kind of mechanically inclined. I had a Jeep Wrangler for like 7 years, and I was always doing shit to that. It's one of those things too. It's like all this shit, working on cars, working on bikes is like, especially nowadays with YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's easy to figure out. You just have to have the right tools for the job.
Right.
So my uncle was a mechanic for Ford for like 50 years.
Oh, wow.
He retired and gave me like 2 massive tool chests. So it's like, I have like anything and everything you would need to work on automobiles or bikes. So, and I do have the little bit of confidence you need, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know what you're doing, you're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right.
Right. I don't want to break it.
Yeah. It's like, no, just have the confidence, just do it.
Yeah.